Hola amigos, espero que estén bien. Soy Nash y en este video vamos a hablar sobre el tema de saber español en los Estados Unidos. ¿Es algo muy importante para ustedes? ¿Es algo que tienes que aprender? Vamos a ver, pero primeramente dame un gusta y suscríbete a mi canal. What's up guys, thanks for tuning in this video. My name is Nash and in this video we're going to talk about Spanish in the United States. Is it something important? Is it something that you should learn? Is it going to be valuable in 2023? Let's talk about it. So I have been learning Spanish for a little over a year now, and I can't even begin to explain to you all the opportunities that have came to me just from knowing Spanish. I've gotten so many job opportunities. I feel like nowadays in 2023, knowing Spanish and English is just way much more of a benefit than not knowing Spanish. I think you're always going to have the edge when it comes to the workplace. I think about 30% of the US population speaks some Spanish, so you're always going to be engaging with people typically at least 30% of the time that speak some level of Spanish. We're dealing with a lot of immigrants in this country, especially if you're in the southern states. Where I live in Texas, there's a large amount of Spanish speakers, and it is definitely a huge benefit to know Spanish. Just the fact that people want to be more inclusive nowadays. Knowing Spanish is a huge benefit for you. Also depends on what industries you're working in. If you're in the service industry, most of the service workers behind the tables and behind the lights and everything are people of Spanish speaking descent. And so if you can speak Spanish, you're going to definitely have the edge over people that don't. And I think generally speaking, if you commit yourself to about a year of learning, you can reach a fluent level. And I think if you know the benefits that are involved, you will definitely invest the time. Depends on where you are in the country. So if you are in California, if you're in Texas, if you're in Florida, if you're in New York, if you are in any kind of big city, I think knowing Spanish is going to be a huge benefit. You're definitely going to edge out the competition from those that don't know any Spanish. And that's just economically speaking. I think also too, in terms of relationships, you're going to meet a lot of really good people and you're going to tap into a bigger market. And typically whenever somebody from the United States starts a business, they oftentimes omit the Spanish speaking market because they can't speak Spanish, right? But imagine how beneficial it would be if you could tap into an extra 30% of the market. And especially where I'm at in Central Texas, there is a huge number of Spanish-speaking immigrants, a lot of which don't even speak any English. So if you are not tapping into that market, you're losing out on a lot of market share. So I would say in terms of business, definitely going to be huge if you can tap into that market by knowing Spanish. Also too, for jobs in general. So if you're not starting your own business, if you're working a job, I think if you had the advantage of speaking Spanish, it's going to be huge because there's so many immigrants coming to the United States. That number is projected to go up. I mean, 30% is just where we're at now. That number is supposed to keep increasing. And actually, Spanish is the second widest spoken language in the world. So you're going to have a lot more benefits than just business. I think, no matter where you travel to as well, whether you're in the United States, whether you're in Mexico or any Central American or South American country, mostly all of them speak Spanish as their primary language. And actually, other parts of the world, such as Europe, speak a lot of Spanish also. So I think Spanish is definitely a very valuable language to know in 2023, whether you're in the United States or really anywhere. Also, too, I've been seeing this is a lot of YouTube channels creating separate pages focused just on their Spanish-speaking audience. I think that's a great idea, is to tap into that Spanish-speaking market. I mean, so many people omit it just because they don't speak it, but why not take advantage? Why not tap in? You're honestly losing out on about 30% of the market share. So I would say yes, Spanish is necessary in 2023. You can get by without it. You can still, if you're in the United States, you'll be fine. But the reality is there's always going to be an edge for the person that knows Spanish. I've seen this in my life. I've gotten great job offers from all kinds of different business owners because they heard me speaking Spanish. They wanted to hire me because they have a large amount of Spanish speaking employees and they need somebody to be able to communicate that already knows English, can communicate with the business owner, and they can explain that to the entire group of employees. So if you know Spanish, you're going to have the advantage over many people. I think in general, you can get by without using it, but it's wise to learn it. And if you focus yourself for about a year, you can learn the language fluently. And It's really not that hard of a language to learn if you focus yourself, especially if you're an English speaker, because there's a lot of words and phrases that are similar, but it's just a matter of focusing yourself, practicing your accent, and getting it down. So that's just my take on it, guys. I do think you should learn Spanish. I think you're going to have the advantage. I think it is necessary, considering the growing population of Spanish speakers in the United States, not only in the United States, all over the world. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you want to see how I learned Spanish in under 1 year fluently, watch this video above. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. We'll see you in the next one.